learners, today we are going to discuss on the topic Hacking and Computer Virus. Introduction. E-commerce plays a huge role in our daily lives by facilitating buying, selling and making payments in the virtual world through the integration of internet, digital communication and IT applications. However, recently e-commerce security on the internet has become a growing concern. The ever-expanding platform of online networks has led to a greater vulnerability of e-commerce business models. A research study conducted by KPMG International revealed an increase in threats to the global e-commerce environment. Out of 300 professionals who were interviewed, about 41% indicated a higher level of e-commerce security threats. Also, half of the respondents affirmed that their organizations do not have adequate e-commerce security systems to prevent potential online attacks. Such attacks result in potential abuse of consumer data, which poses one of the greatest threats to e-commerce. Let's see the objectives of this topic. By the end of this module, the learner will have information about security lapses in e-commerce, potential threats for e-commerce security, namely computer virus and hackers, protection against threats. Now, let's see how e-commerce security lapse affects business. The impact of an e-commerce security lapse can be devastating for any business, as the destructive effect will be experienced in terms of loss in market share, erosion of consumer confidence and overall crumbling of online credibility. In addition, the law may charge the company for inadequate measures to secure its e-commerce gateways. The need of the hour is to identify vulnerabilities, carry out a thorough risk assessment analysis and devise an effective e-commerce security plan early. Ideally, a good risk assessment analysis will examine the following aspects: what threats might exist, what the business consequences would possibly be, whether it is likely to occur again, what responses will help to solve the perceived risks, how well defined is the company's information access requirements and controls so as to prevent security threats from occurring. How well defined is the company's transaction verification process? By considering the aforementioned aspects, the next step is to devise an efficient e-commerce security policy. It should include plans to provide a secure online environment along with in-depth details about data backup facilities to address any data crisis. What matters for consumers is that their identity, information and privacy remain well protected. Therefore, an organization that shows strong commitment to good e-commerce security initiatives will go a long way in securing the trust and confidence of customers. Now, let's see the potential threats for e-commerce security. The first threat is computer virus. A computer virus is a program or piece of code capable of replicating itself and is created to damage or destruct a computer by corrupting system files, destroying data or wasting resources. It is a unique form of malware that is self-replicating, that is, capable of copying itself across files or other computers without a user's consent. Viruses can corrupt and destroy business data, which is why they are highly dreaded. Not every piece of software that attacks a computer is a virus. Computer viruses are just one type of malware, that is, malicious software. Trojans, spyware, worms, adware and ransomware are some of the most common types. They are not computer viruses, though many people use the term virus to refer to malware in a general sense. Why are viruses created? Unlike the biological virus, computer viruses are created to intentionally target computers, systems, and networks. The earliest computer viruses were created by programmers just for fun. The first known virus was the Creeper virus, created in 1971, which displayed the message, "I am the Creeper, catch me if you can." Other viruses created for playing around are the El Cloner virus, which recited a little poem, the Ikatako virus, which replaced files and programs with pictures of squid, and the Stoned virus, which randomly displayed the words, "Your computer is stoned, legalize marijuana" on the screen. Unfortunately, not all viruses are created for fun. Some viruses spread chaos far and wide. The I Love You virus destroyed the files of more than 50 million internet users worldwide, rendered PCs unbootable, and copied users' passwords and sent them to its creators. It caused damages up to $9 billion in the year 2000. The Sobiq F virus, which stopped computer traffic in Washington DC and grounded Air Canada for a while, caused damages around $37 billion. The MyDoom virus caused the worldwide internet traffic to slow down by 10% on the day of its release. The Code Red virus attacked the White House and caused $2.6 billion in damage worldwide. Now let's see how viruses spread. Here are some common ways in which computer systems can get infected with the computer virus. Email viruses. Email is one of the preferred means of transportation for computer viruses everywhere. By opening an attachment containing an executable program file or macro type file, or by opening an email with an infected body, the computer can get infected with the virus. Instant messaging viruses. Instant messaging (IM) is another means for viruses to spread wide and fast. IM services like WhatsApp, Skype, Facebook Messenger, and Windows Live Messenger are unintentionally used to spread viruses to contacts with infected links sent through chat messages. File sharing viruses. Peer-to-peer file sharing services like Dropbox, SharePoint, or ShareFile can be used to spread viruses too. These services sync files and folders to any computer linked to a specific account, so when someone uploads a virus infected file to a file sharing account, that virus gets downloaded to everyone else with access to that shared folder. Software download viruses. One of the most common types of virus loaded software downloads are fake antivirus infections. Scammers and cybercriminals use forceful pop-ups and ads to scare users into believing that a non-existent virus has been detected in their PC and compel them to download their antivirus software in order to clear the threat. But instead of clearing the computer of viruses, this fake antivirus proceeds to infect the PC with malware, often with devastating consequences for the victim's files, hard drive, and personal information. Unpatched vulnerable software. Lastly, one of the most disregarded means for viruses to spread is unpatched software. Unpatched software refers to the software and apps that have not been updated with the latest security updates from the developer in order to plug up security holes in the software itself. Unpatched software is a major cybersecurity problem for businesses and organizations. But with criminals exploiting vulnerabilities in outdated versions of programs such as Adobe, Reader, Java, or Microsoft Office, other users are at risk of infection too. Protection against viruses. Preventing a virus from getting into a computer is a lot easier than deleting a virus that has already infected it. Hence, learning to avoid them in the first place definitely helps. Use antivirus protection. Antivirus software is designed to prevent malicious software programs from embedding onto a computer. If it detects malicious codes like a virus, it works to disarm or remove it. Viruses can infect computers without users' knowledge. Most types of antivirus software can be set up to update automatically. Keeping the antivirus software up to date is very important. Among the top antivirus software include Symantec's Norton antivirus, McAfee, Kaspersky, Webroot and more. Keep the firewall turned on. A firewall helps protect computers from hackers who might try to gain access in order to crash it, delete information or steal passwords and other sensitive information. It is an internal security system that helps protect computers from unauthorized access. Both Microsoft Windows and Apple's Mac operating systems come equipped with firewall protection. However, they still need to be turned on always to serve the purpose even though they are incorporated. Keep the operating system up to date. Computer operating systems are periodically updated to stay in tune with technology advances or to fix security holes. Installing these updates ensures that the computer has latest protection. Turning on the automatic updates feature can help stay updated without paying attention to them. Be careful with internet downloads. Carelessly downloading email attachments can dodge even the most vigilant antivirus software. Email attachments from strangers and forwarded attachments should never be opened since they may have been suspectingly advanced malicious code. Make backups. Making regular backups of files and storing them on an external hard drive can help prevent the loss of important information. This can help recover files that were infected. Now let's see how to remove a virus from an infected computer. Some of the warning signs a computer might have a virus are a very slow running computer, pop-up messages that appear out of nowhere and are hard to get rid of, unrecognizable computer programs that run on their own, hearing the sound of the hard drive in constant action. Any one of these symptoms might be caused by a virus. If 2 or 3 of them are experienced at the same time, it is a strong indication of a virus. The following actions can be taken to delete a virus. Step 1. Enter safe mode. Do this by restarting the computer or turning off and on again. Pressing F8 during startup brings up the advanced boot options menu. From there, choose safe mode with networking and press enter. It is safer to keep the PC disconnected from the internet. Step 2. Delete temporary files. While in safe mode, delete temporary files using the disk cleanup tool. Go to the Start, Programs, Accessories, Tools and Disk Cleanup. Scroll through the files to delete list and choose temporary files. Deleting these files might speed up the virus scanning and could even get rid of a virus if it was programmed to start when your computer boots up. Step 3. Download a virus scanner. If there is no virus scanner installed, reconnect to the internet and download it. Even if you can't connect to the internet, you might still be able to download Microsoft Safety Scanner because you started up your computer in safe mode with networking. Step 4. run a virus scan. Run the virus scanner that was downloaded. The scanner should be able to identify the virus and remove it. Let's discuss about hackers now. The term hacker refers to a person who acquires unauthorized access to a computer and uses it for destructive purposes. A hacker will try to gain access to strategic data and attempt to make unauthorized changes on websites, making it seem as if the website owner had done this. Many hackers also deploy viruses and execute denial of service, that is DOS attacks, which prevents authorized users from accessing their websites. In regards to e-commerce security, hackers attempt to gain access to private financial documents with intentions to carry out fraud. When a website has been hacked, the e-commerce will be forced to shut down the website until the details have been changed and security updated. This will in turn affect their customers as it will prevent them from using the website, therefore causing inconvenience. For example, checking train timings. If this happens often, customers will give up on the website and take their searches elsewhere, leaving the company with the loss of customers and thereby losing money. This would then begin to affect the e-commerce supplier as people will no longer use the website and therefore promotion becomes a waste of money, and so they will eventually run out of business, being forced to shut down for good. To prevent this, the website should keep their security updated at all times and change their access password often to avoid any knowledge of the password getting out. Hacking can be divided into various categories based on what is being hacked. Here are some examples. Phishing. Phishing is a technique by which a hacker replicates the most accessed sites and traps the victim by sending that spoofed link. It is one of the most commonly used and deadliest attack vectors. Once the victim tries to log in or enters some data, the hacker gets the private information of the target victim using the Trojan running on the fake site. Phishing via iCloud and Gmail account was the attack route taken by hackers who targeted the fappening leak, which involved numerous Hollywood female celebrities. In India, ICICI Bank was a victim of phishing and multiple user information was stolen. Keylogging. Keylogger is a simple software that records the key sequence and strokes of the keyboard into a log file on the computer. These log files may even contain your personal email IDs and passwords. This can be done using either software or hardware. While software-based keyloggers target the programs installed on a computer, hardware devices target keyboards, electromagnetic emissions, smartphone sensors, etc. Keylogger is one of the main reasons why online banking sites provide an option to use virtual keyboards. The next is denial of service, that is DOS or DDoS. A denial of service attack is a hacking technique to take down a site or server by flooding that site or server with a lot of traffic that the server is unable to process all the requests in the real time and finally crashes down. In this popular technique, the attacker floods the targeted machine with tons of requests to overwhelm the resources, which in turn restrict the actual requests from being fulfilled. For DDoS attacks, hackers often deploy botnets or zombie computers to flood the system with request packets. With each passing year, as the malware and types of hackers keep getting advanced, the size of DDoS attacks keeps increasing. fake WAP. Even just for fun, a hacker can use software to fake a wireless access point. This WAP connects to the official public place WAP. Once you get connected to a fake WAP, a hacker can easily access your data, just like in the above case. It is one of the easier hacks to accomplish, and one just needs a simple software and wireless network. Anyone can name their WAP as some legit name like Starbucks Wi-Fi and start spying on you. One of the best ways to protect yourself from such attacks is using a quality VPN service. Next is eavesdropping, also known as passive attacks. Unlike other attacks which are active in nature, using a passive attack, a hacker just monitors the computer systems and networks to gain some unwanted information. The motive behind eavesdropping is not to harm the system but to get some information without being identified. These types of hackers can target email, instant messaging, phone calls, web browsing, and other methods of communication. Those who indulge in such activities are generally black hat hackers, government agencies, etc. Next, let's discuss about cookie theft. The cookies of a browser keep personal data such as browsing history, username, and passwords for different sites that are accessed. Once the hacker gets the access to cookies, he can even authenticate himself on a browser. A popular method to carry out this attack is to encourage a user's IP packets to pass through the attacker's machine. Also known as sitejacking or session hijacking, this attack is easy to carry out if the user is not using SSL, that is HTTPS, for the complete session. On the websites where you enter your password and banking details, it is of utmost importance for them to make their connections encrypted. Next, let's see what's bait and switch. Using bait and switch hacking technique, an attacker can buy advertising spaces on the websites. Later, when a user clicks on the ad, he might get directed to a page that's infected with malware. This way, they can further install malware or adware on your computer. The ads and download links shown in this technique are very attractive, and users are expected to end up clicking on the same. Let's discuss about the protection against hackers. Practical precautions can be taken to protect a website from being hacked and keep sensitive customer data from being stolen. The following are techniques that help protect an e-commerce site from hacking and fraud. Choose a secure e-commerce platform and connection. An e-commerce site on a platform that is built using a sophisticated object-oriented programming language is less likely to be hacked. The site should be made available only in the internal network and completely removed from servers facing the public. This makes it inaccessible to attackers. Additionally, a secondary authentication that authenticates users within the internal network can be enabled. It is also important to use SSL certificates to authenticate the identity of the business and encrypt the data in transit. Layer the security. One of the best ways to keep business safe from cyber criminals is layering the security. Start with firewalls, an essential aspect in stopping attackers, and add extra layers of security to the website and applications such as contact forms, login boxes, and search queries. These measures will ensure that the e-commerce environment is protected from application level attacks like SQL injections, that is structured query language injections, and cross-site scripting, that is XSS. Use HTTPS. HTTPS is a protocol used to provide security over the internet. HTTPS guarantees that users are talking to the server they expect and that nobody else can intercept or change the content they are seeing in transit. Don't store sensitive data. There is no reason to store thousands of records about customers, especially credit card details. It is recommended to eliminate old records from the database and keep a minimal amount of data, just enough for chargebacks and refunds. Though it is the responsibility of the retailer to keep customer information safe on the back end, sites can help customers choose a strong password by requiring a minimum number of characters and the use of symbols or numbers. Longer, more complex logins will make it harder for criminals to breach the site from the front end. Set up alerts for suspicious activity. Set up an alert notice for multiple and suspicious transactions coming through from the same IP address. Similarly, set up system alerts for multiple orders placed by the same person using different areas than the billing address and orders where the recipient name is different than the cardholder name. Monitor the site regularly. Having a real-time analysis tool is like the real-world equivalent of installing security cameras in a shop. These help observe how visitors are navigating within a website in real time and thereby help detect fraudulent or suspicious behavior. Also, whoever is hosting the e-commerce site should have a monitoring plan that includes at least daily scanning, detection and removal of malware and viruses on the website. Now let's conclude the topic. Since there are so many ways to attack a computer or network, prevention is better than cure. The best way to protect a site from such attacks is to build a strong defense beforehand, thereby protecting against viruses, hackers, malware, spyware, ransomware and more. Hope this topic was useful to you and hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you.